I'm on the way to Otter Creek, and it's on Stone's Pocket Road. And the reason I'm taking this is because Sauk County has some of the greatest road names. Stone's Pocket, Hoot Owl Road, Elder Ridge, Stone Church, Bootjack. Great names for roads around Sauk County. So we're going to explore Otter Creek today. All right, Otter Creek is in the Baxter Hollow Preserve. And it's one of the largest uninterrupted forests. And it's the headwaters of Otter Creek. It's got an interesting human history to it also here. But we're going to explore the creek today. It's early fall, late September. The leaves are starting to turn, some of the leaves starting to fall. And it's quite wooded here, as we saw on the sign there. We've come to a bridge here, and there's little waterfalls down here. Great sounds. This looks like a good spot for me to start walking in the creek. We did just have some rains last night, so the creek is flowing quite strongly. And as you can hear, the sounds are great. The water is looking clear. I do have my water shoes and shorts on, and it is nice and cool. The leaves are raining down. There's just a nice little hole here, kind of clear and a little deeper. I'm just going to go underwater and see if we can see anything under the rocks. There's a rock in the middle of the stream with some mosses and some other little plants on it. What an interesting little spot this is. I keep seeing these little holes in the fast-running water, and I just want to check and see if we can find anything in there. The scenery here is beautiful. The fall colors. There's a stand of maybe rushes or horsetails up ahead. And the rippling sound is amazing. Here's another little deep spot. I'm going under, see if there's anything in here. A little closer to the stand, and they are horsetails or popweed. Just kind of fun to see a big stand of them like this. And there's a big bluff here. We're at the base of a big bluff. keep seeing little fish, but they're so fast. So I'm hoping we'll just catch a sight of some if I go underwater here. Here's another area that looks like it has some hiding spots. Maybe there's something hiding under the water. I just had to get a little bit of this waterfall here. This is so cool. I looked up the name of this little plant here. It's called bittercress. I guess it's not as sweet as watercress. Here we've got a root over the bank, and it just looks like a great hiding spot for some fish. So we're going to check it out. Here's another washout area. It looks perfect. Water bringing in food here. There's some fish underneath here. Let's see if we get any. Keep trying these deep holes, relatively deep, hoping we'll see something under there. If we don't get any fish, at least we get great underwater shots. This looks like a perfect spot to see something underwater. We're going down. This looks like a great spot. Tree across, little ripples. Oh yeah. What a great sight. The lens seems to fog up a little. It's so cold underwater, and then bring it out to the warm air, and of course it fogs up. Now let's see if this is going to work. Okay, it looks like it's doing it. Oh, if I can make it back to this rock without slipping. These rocks certainly are very slippery. Oh boy. Well, we haven't seen any fish, and that's a little disappointing. But the scenery here is beautiful. The trees and the leaves and the stream itself, and this underwater scenery is also very beautiful. Now let's see if this is so I hope work. Even though we didn't see any fish like or bugs or crayfish if I can that you can enjoy just slipping. Watching these rocks underwater are very slippery. So we're just about done here at Otter Creek, Baxter Hollow. Disappointing. But stay tuned here is because we're going to Man Mound County Park, itself, and then after Man Mound, then we're going to the Lower Narrows, also very beautiful nature, even though we didn't state natural area, or bugs and it's a new place that I've never been to, and so we're going to see what that's like underwater. So stay tuned. So, and we're just about done. We'll be going here other places at Otter Creek if I make it across. Hollow. Found a little spot but stay with a little tuned sunlight this time. Because we're going to Man Mound County Park, and then after Man Mound, then we're going to the Lower Narrows Nature State Natural Area, and it's a new place that I've never been to. And so we're going to see what that's like. So stay tuned, and we'll be going other places if I make it across. Now we've come downstream to where we started. And there's some deeper spots down here. And here's a real putaway under this tree. So I'm going to go down in here, see what we can see in here. Hopefully it's light enough. And we'll see something hiding down there. Alright, we've run across a fisherman here, hoping to get a trout, but it's a chub. But it's still a fish. There are fish in here. Well, this is a big pond right here, part of it, and there are fish in here. This gentleman's trying to catch a trout. We're waiting to see if he does. Interesting rocks right here. Almost looks like it was a wall of some kind before. This kind of looks like a dam here. Maybe a fabricated one or maybe a natural one. It's hard to tell. Creates a nice deep pond down here though, and up above also. Here's where I started. Here's where I'm finished. Great little creek. Well, if the only fish we got was the creek chub from the fishermen, at least we had some great scenery and hopefully some good underwater shots. And we got to know Baxter's Hollow and Otter Creek much better. Well, we have left Otter Creek and Baxter Hollow, and now we're at Mound County Park. It's a very small county park, but it's a National Historic Landmark, and it's one of the very unique Indian mounds. We've talked about the mounds being linear and in shapes of animals like lynxes and panthers, and circular, but this one is in the shape of a man. So of course there's a marker here, and this is what the person looks like. I guess it's not necessarily a male, but a person, a human shape. And here's what it looks like kind of drawn out. So this sign here talks all about the mounds and the man mound itself, but it's kind of small print, so you'd have to come and look at it. But this is the shape here. Now the mounds, other mounds at Devil's Lake, they did not cut the grass and the weeds on top, but here they have done that. And so let's see if we can get a good glimpse of it. Looks like an arm right here in front of us, and the head is up here. It's really kind of hard to see. This is the road, and you see a little bit of green. That's the extent of the legs. The legs used to be over that way until they built the road. So now they just paint the road. And again, you can see a little dent in between the legs here. And the body goes way up there. So as I said, this is one of the much more unique Indian mounds. And this is pretty much the whole park right here. So here we are, and there's the arm again. Here's a bronze plaque here. Man Mound Park, Wisconsin Historical Society, 1908. Located and platted by W.H. Canfield in 1859. It's 48 feet in width, 214 feet in length. It's an amazing mound. Just down the road from the Mound, Man Mound County Park, is the Lower Narrows State Natural Area. First time I've been here, but we're going to check it out. Well, we're coming into a gate. The pathway is very narrow, but the scenery up ahead is amazing. It's got a history of quarrying, but it's huge rocks. Looks like Baraboo quartzite, but we're told there's some volcanic rock evidence here also. They say it's basalt. Shortly in, we have these cedars, but also a lot of Indian grass here, and goldenrod, Queen Anne's lace. So it looks like it's a lot of prairie grasses, but not having had any burns recently within the last 5-6 years, it looks like. So some of the other plants are growing up, the non-prairie plants, and some little trees also. Oh, we're getting closer to the bluffs, to the quarry. Big stand of Indian grass here, but also a growth of, looks like aspen and some willows here, a bunch of willows, very thick. The trail is so narrow. We're going through the edge of these willows. Oh, here's some coneflowers and some asters. Oh, in amongst these willows is a real wet area, really marshy. All right, I'm going to take a look, see what's in here. It's kind of late in the season for seeing things like fairy shrimp or mosquito larvae or even water fleas, and I couldn't get close enough to see smaller things. Whoa, these rocks, these bluffs are quite impressive. I'm seeing the seed heads of one of my favorite prairie plants, and the leaves of it. I love this name, rattlesnake master, and it's in amongst all this Indian grass that's over my head, and there's quite a bit of this rattlesnake master around. Here's some of the green heads right here too. Oh, I love seeing that. I just like saying that name, rattlesnake master. But I'm close to the bluffs here. Oh my gosh, this is overwhelming. Just look at the angle here. These were all flat, horizontal at one point. And look at the ripples here. Those were marks from the sea bottom when it was flat on the sea, in the ocean, under the water. Oh, this is a great place for rocking. Oh my goodness. Yes. Oh, this is great. Some more coneflowers here, purple coneflowers. Oh, I bet this is a great place in the spring too, in the summer, with all these prairie plants and the flowers. I'm in the midst of this Indian grass that's taller than I am here, but there's some here that are a little shorter, and my eye naturalist says this is a blazing star, but it looks like it's been put out late in the summer, early fall like this. But again, there's different goldenrods here, and more of the bit rattlesnake master. We're heading in close to the bluffs in a little different spot here. We've got some sumac and some other trees, and we're close to the bluff. Interesting habitat here. The wall is almost vertical, and it's got the ripples in it from when it was horizontal under the ocean. But we've got plants growing up right next to it here. And a little bit of the rock debris. We're going to keep walking along here, see what we can find. This wall seems to have a source in that hole up there in the rock, with water dripping out, causing different colors, like a greenish and a brown. Maybe the greenish is like from copper, and I don't know the brown, maybe that's a rust. But it creates an interesting sight, and here next to it also. And then there's plants growing right out of those cracks up there. This is amazing. And look at how tall this is, straight up. Oh yeah. And a tree growing out up there. The Virginia creeper has a way of attaching to the rocks and just climbing up it. And all their leaves are red already. An amazing climber. And look at all the different colors again. They're dry right now, but there's signs of different chemicals leaching out of the rocks when the rains come. Here's a big area where they had the purple coneflowers all around in here. A couple of them are still left. Most of them have gone to seed though. I bet this was pretty in the spring. And again, we're at the base of this huge vertical wall of baraboo quartzite. Just so impressive. I've stopped here and taking these rocks because they don't have any lichens on them or mosses. So it looks to me like this whole pile of them here has recently broken off, and I'm going to show you up here. There's a whole section up here that's clear and clean, unweathered. This whole section up here probably broke off within the last year or so. Oh, I bet you that was something to hear and see if one could. The earth is still changing. Erosion and movement, earthquakes. Things are still changing in our lifetime. Very, very gradually though. I have already seen that this has been a great summer for grapes. Great for grapes. And here's another testimony to that. These grapes are nicely formed.